Hey, what's up, guys? So this is Sapphire back with another graphics video. So today I'm gonna be showing you guys how to make a Twitter header. So if you want to do a Roblox one, of course you're gonna go to a Roblox profile. So I'm gonna use my friend TerraTrail12345. So if you want to be able to immediately get their character instead of going into Studio and doing all that other stuff, what you can do is go to Google Chrome extensions. So pretty much you click on like the three little lines up top, and you go down to more tools. You go over here to extensions, click that. Scroll down, click get more extensions, and just look up Roblox asset. You can just look up Roblox asset. So this is it right here, Roblox quick asset loader. You pretty much like just add that to Chrome. It's not like a rat or anything. Nothing's gonna happen to you. So alright, let's get into the video. So pretty much what you'll do is you'll see the asset loader up top. It's like just a little magnifier with the Roblox symbol. You'll click that. You'll see this little Roblox Studio thing right here. Click that as well. Then this should pop up in your bottom. It's just a download of the Roblox file of the character. So click that. It'll open up Studio. Do whatever it needs to do. As soon as it opens up, you will have their character within Studio. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to click on the character here, and then go over here, right click, export selection. So I'm just gonna name this Terra, and then I'm just gonna do this one. Like, I like to keep my files organized, so I'll make a new one for every single one. So you can X right out. You can. Some people prefer to save. I'm not a huge fan. Just waste of space. So what you'll want to do is you want to open up Cinema 4D, right? So this is my personal Lightroom, and so practically this is set up for me. What pretty much anyone would like to do is have a good Lightroom. So this is practically just what I like to use. Many other people like to use other things, but this is just me. So alright, let's begin. Let me just get that light back there. Alright, there we go. So what we want to do is go up to File, Merge. Also here to Quick Access, you have Windows 10. You should see right here the OBJ file, or if it's easier, like I'll just look up Terra right here. Alright, so you double click the file, double click the OBJ. The MTL file is just about useless. I just about never use that unless you're doing a giant like landscape render. So what you want this to be 100 centimeters. Alright, so when you insert this, it should look just like this. Practically just like a white character currently. A very like plain character. So double click on this texture right here, and then you'll see these three little dots down here. It's the texture. So click the dots. Again, go over here, Terra. Alright, so then when Roblox Asset Loader gets the character, it also gets the actual like texture itself. Alright, so double click that, and if this comes up, just click yes. Alright, so then you have texture on character. That does not look extremely good right now. Some people, if you have very low expectations, this may look extremely great. But that's pretty much what you want to do is go to basic, turn off specular. That'll make it a little less like bright a little bit. So you see how that just like sort of dimmed it out a little bit. Then if you want to make it like a lot more pleasing to look at, you click on this. Well, it's an editor. Click here, change that from default to no scaling. That makes the clothing look a lot better and a lot cleaner. Alright, so I'm just gonna do a very simple thing here. I'm not gonna do anything like over the top. I'm gonna do bones and everything, but this isn't gonna be like a very great render. So this is gonna be more focused within the actual how to make the Twitter header itself. Alright, so what you want to do is you want to click these things here. You optimize it. Well, one second. Let me go back. Alright, so you practically what you want to do is right click, optimize. Some people do US ×3, but I do US just once. And then so what you want to do is go over here, click on the top cone that's highlighted over here, so player 5, etc. So you'll see that, you'll see the cone over here. You'll click that, and you'll hold shift and click the bottom one with like pretty much you click the cones that are highlighted. You could hold control and do it individually like this. It takes much more work, or you can just hold shift and do this. So what you want to do is delete the cones. So I want to go back to that. Delete, oh, oopsies. Alright. So you just want to delete the cones, and then it'll come back here. It doesn't look like much, but if you zoom in really close, it sort of extruded the edges a little bit, and honestly in the end that'll definitely pay off within the render. Alright, so I'm going to open up Bones, and I might put a link to this in the profile, in the description. Alright, so practically you insert that after you did the optimizing and everything like that. And then, so what you want to do is make sure that this is like centered within the character, alright? So that is centered there. Zoom out a bit. Alright, so position this where you want it. So I'm gonna do something like this a bit. You can do really any like camera like area you want for this really. This is just how I'm gonna do mine. Alright, so I'm gonna first off position the right arm. So this, I know this is left arm, I'm not stupid or anything. So practically, if you've ever heard the patient's point of view, that's technically what this is. So this would be the Roblox character's right arm, but that of course would be the left for us, right, if we're looking at it right now. Alright, so you'd click on that arm here, you can click on it over here, you hold control, and you click on right shoulder, right elbow, and right hand. Alright, so you go up to character, commands, bind, and you hold control again. Click this, this, and this. This is to actually move the elbow. Then you can click this rotate tool right here. So like it'll do something like this. Something like that. Okay. Alright, so then after that you hold control, do that, go to the shoulder. And then go up here. Alright, so I'm going to do sort of a different thing over here. So you do practice the same thing on all sides if you want to do Bones. Like, you don't necessarily have to, just how I'm going to position him in this. So I'm going to do like a little thing right there. I'm going to position his head a bit down and cornered over a bit. Like, that does look a little freaky with the face and all, but in the end, I definitely think this will look good. Alright, so perfect. So I'm gonna zoom in just a tiny bit. Alright, so if you go up to your options here, save. This is not alpha channel. You want to turn this on, and then this is a TIFF right now. Change that to a PNG, and then I have a renders file right here, so I'm just gonna do Nico, and then alright, so my Lightroom, it's practically just a bunch of lights, but what I did is, so this is without all the lights I added. Alright, so I like to add infinite lights, so as you can see I'll do that. So I'll do one coming one way on the face and the body in general, and I'll do another one coming the other way. That I overshot that on purpose because like it just ends up looking better. So then you could also add a spotlight if like you want something a little bit brighter. Alright, so you want this at 90. So that's not perfectly 90, but it's pretty close, I'd say. Actually, that's really not that close at all, but alright, so you want them at 9. Well, this one actually, yeah, you want this at about 90 or so. Okay, this is not correct. So I'm just gonna do this at 0, alright? So it's a little bit off, but it's okay, I'll still do the same thing. So what I'm going to do is, since I'm not a huge fan of how that's looking currently with all the spotlights and everything, I'm going to go here. I'm going to change this to maybe 88. Nah, it's still a bit too bright. Like this is really all off how you want it. Like no one's really going to be able to control how you render. So I just turn this down to 48. Alright, so then you click here, render. So see, that looks a lot better. So that to that, just because I added infinite lights and some spotlights. Up top does not look as great as it could, so I'm just gonna add one more spotlight. Just put it up above the character here, and I'm also gonna put one under the character to sort of even out the lighting. Alright, so practically that's what you want to see. Alright, So, see how that looks with all the lights? Ton of light right there. Again, turn this down to, I'm going to turn this down to 68. It's still there, it's just a little bit dimmer. See, just overall looks better, alright? Alright, so enough with rendering. So, when you go to Photoshop, you have to click File, New, and then 1500 pixels for the width, and 500 for the height. Alright, so it should open up something like this. I like to double click that, unlock the layer, and then change the eraser to, you could do 500 really quick, just to erase this really quickly. Alright, there you go. So for the background, I think I'm just gonna use like a nice like summer valley. Alright, so I'm just gonna write valley. Alright, let's go here. So of course you want to use the search tools, don't want to violate any usage rights here. Alright, so we're gonna definitely be modifying this. So I'm gonna use this one, alright? So you go here, copy image. Since we're gonna be modifying this image, I wouldn't initially say it's bad. So for some reason there's been a glitch with Photoshop where it's been doing that, so you have to physically save the image, and then it's just a pain. So don't know why Photoshop did that, but curse you, Photoshop. Alright, so let's see here, let's find it. There it is. Alright, so let's just make sure this isn't just that file. It might be. Alright, yeah, it is. Okay, so I'm just gonna change the image size to 1500 by 500. It's gonna look extremely stretched out and it's gonna look terrible. But so I like to add a Gaussian blur, so you go to filter, blur, go over, Gaussian blur. I have it at 4. I think it looks nice. But if you want to add more, you can just do Control F, and it does that very easily. Alright, so I'm going to stretch that out because that looked a little bit like it was showing a little bit of the transparent part. Alright, so again, to actually expand something, it's Control T. So then do that, you can drag it all around. If you want a perfect like rectangle, hold Shift. Hold perfect circle, perfect anything. Hold Shift. Trust me, Shift is going to become your best friend very easily. Alright, so after this I'm going to add the render. So you do File, Open. This isn't like in Photoshop where it's anything else. Like we have to merge, just File, Open. Alright, let's see here. Nico, right here. Alright, so what I want to do typically is I like to put it either to the far right, like right about, let's position it maybe about here, so alright, so let's check to see what his Twitter name is here. Alright, so Tara, alright, maybe it's something to do with Nico. Alright, so let's copy that. Alright, so I have this font in Beyond the Mountains, and honestly I think it's gonna look very nice with this. So, and if not, just change it. No one ever got hurt by just changing something. Alright, so this one I'm not so sure about the font with this, and I'm just not so sure about it. Alright, so I'm gonna try maybe let's try Rific. Alright, so I think this might match a bit better with everything. So what I want to do is I want to right click on the text, blending options, since this is white on very bright colors, so you want to make it pop a little bit more. So I did a drop shadow. These are my options for the drop shadow. You can make it either really like thick for how thick you want the darkness to be around the letters, or you can make it extremely light like I did here, 45. Still visible, but not as visible. You can add an outer glow, just simply of course adds an outer glow. Those are my settings if anyone wants to use those. I typically don't use pattern overlay. I think it looks pretty bad unless you have a really good use for it. Gradient overlay, it looks good sometimes, alright? So I've never been a humongous fan of it, but in this I think it actually looks pretty good. I'm actually going to use that. Satan just really darkens everything. I don't really use that a ton unless you're doing like an advertisement for like a war group or something like that and they want something like different. So stroke, I have it as like a blue color, and then I turn the opacity far down So overprint, you can do that. Overprint practically goes around the edges. Alright, so this is what it looks like now. So what we can do now, I can put it up here, I can put it anywhere practically now, since colors changed, everything's different. Alright, so I'm going to do that. So I do know that Terra has a Twitter, he has a Roblox, and I believe that is it. So I'm going to look up Roblox logo. Alright, so I'm just going to use this. Actually, let's go to search tools again. Usage rights modification. Alright, of course, this is prepared for us. Alright, so what we're going to want to do here is use the magic wand tool, click on the white area around, and delete it. Alright, so this is practically just going to show what Nico plays. Alright, so again, I'm going to copy the layer style on this. So what you do is right click on that, copy layer style. This just saves you a lot of time from redoing what you already did. Alright, so and then right click here, paste layer style. Of course, like all this stuff, gradient overlay, I want to get rid of that. Drop, like, I'm actually going to change a couple things here, since I'm not so sure how this is going to really look with that and everything. I'm going to turn the opacity up on that. I'm actually going to do a gradient overlay, but I think I might definitely turn that down a bit. I might change this actually to maybe a red, brighter red maybe, to a more white color. And then now, definitely want to turn it down. And then this, maybe turn the opacity. Make this like a white. There we go. Alright. So that looks, in my opinion, better. So I'm just going to write his username right here. Alright, so this yet again, not a huge fan of the font. That's currently Rific. So let's see how this one looks. Lost there. Alright, so this apparently it's for private use only. So cannot use the numbers. Beyond the Mountains, let's try this one. And currently, of course, you can't see it, but we're going to copy the layer style yet again and paste it here. So again, it makes everything more visible. Alright, so then we know that his Twitter, of course, is, or well, it's already here, but I think I'm still just going to add it just for the heck of it, alright? So, copy the image, paste it here, do that, delete that again, resize it, Control T, and yes, I do know this is not the traditional Twitter bird, but I'm just going to use it just for the heck of it. Alright, so what we're going to do here is just paste that, and we're going to use the Beyond the Mountains again. Actually, I'm not a huge fan of it in this area. Maybe we could try with that. Alright, so again, we're just going to copy the layer style and paste it again. Again, I'm holding shift to make this more precise. Alright, so now that that's all done, we have all this done. So that is all this stuff here. So I just converted this to a layer. So pretty much what you do is you highlight all the layers that you use, and then you press Command E. That converted that to an entire layer by itself. So I'm going to try to center this between there. In my opinion, I'm not a humongous fan of that. I honestly think it looks better over here. Like, again, this is all how you'd prefer your Twitter banner to be, or if you're making this for somebody else, it's all how you'd prefer to make it. Or, of course, if you're doing this for someone else, how they'd like it. Alright, so this is practically just a very simple one. I don't want to get into complete detail here, but what I will show you is that on this Nico GFX part here, this is just another way to edit stuff. So here, I have the spaces spread out. See, let's put it closer together, much closer together. This spread the words out a bit. in some ways this will make stuff look much better. Other ways it'll make it look worse. In my opinion, this does not look the best. It was not the best use of this tool. I think maybe like 68 on this one would look good. Yeah, see, that looks a bit better. Alright, so in the end, you could have a ton of layers when you're done with this, or if it's very simple, something like this, you don't want to go completely overboard with, and you just want something really easy, it'll turn out something like this. Unless, like, of course, I'd not go into complete detail here. If I wanted to go into complete detail, it would turn out to be something sort of like this. And actually, heck with it, I'm going to go into a little more detail here and show you how to do like a little overlay like I did here. Alright, so I'm going to look for water. I'm just going to test this out, alright? So again, go to search tools, usage rights, modification. Alright, so let's use this one right here. Copy image, paste it here, and this is going to go over the Nico Roblox part. Alright, so I'm going to create a clipping mask practically. So you can put this image over this, alright, and you right click, create clipping mask. And since we have a gradient overlay, it will not show. But there, that's practically what it is without. That's practically what it is with it, sorry. So that's what it looks like with it. Honestly, I think this looks okay with it. I'd definitely not say this is amazing. Maybe a different thing, like maybe some mountain rock or something like that would look cool. So let's see here. Alright. Alright, perfect. We could probably try to use that, at least to sort of keep the grass out of the way. Alright. This probably won't look the best, but yeah, see, like that. I'm just looking at this now. I'm sort of afraid. Okay. Okay, yeah, that looks terrible. Absolutely terrible. Alright, so okay, I spelled mountain wrong. I am not very smart today. Alright, so let's try to find one that's a little bit bigger so we don't have to like expand it as much. I'm not sure how this is gonna look since it has like that mold sort of looking thing over it. Like, I'm not a huge fan of that, like, yet again. Maybe we could try something like sand. Search tools again, usage rights, modification. Alright, so let's see how this looks. Delete that. Create clipping mask. Now this, honestly, I find it to look a little bit better. If you ask me, like whatever you guys think, put it in the comments. I'll definitely read it and see what you guys think about it. And honestly, in this, I think it looks a bit better. I think with this down here, it doesn't. This sort of ruins it if you ask me. But I think with this, it looks amazing. So again, if you guys have any more questions, comments, anything, just toss in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer them. I'll be watching the comments. I'll be answering anything you guys have. And don't worry, just have a great day. If you guys have any more questions, please contact me on Twitter at TheLifeOfMark with 2 Ks. Alright.